Hey there, Rebels. Welcome back for another weekly reading. I am going to pull my cards real quick. I just realized that I never um, do my opening prayer on camera for y'all, so I thought I would. And it just simply goes like this. Spirit guides, guardian angels, archangels, beloved ancestors, light forces of the universe. I call on you for clarity and I call on you for guidance. I ask that you bring through messages for the collective that are on their awakening path, that are on the ascending path, to help them get through the energies that they are currently feeling for this week. I ask the messages that come through be clear, and my intent for this video is that it will reach whoever needs to hear it when they need to hear it. So if you are tuning back in for another reading, I hope that you are doing well. I have been pretty busy the past couple of days doing a lot of free readings just because I had a new deck that I really wanted to connect with. And I have been absolutely blown away by how accurate it is. Enough that it really humbles me, because I don't want to just be a tarot reader. Like, I want to offer guidance to people. And the amount of guidance that can come through as little as one card or two cards, because it's not just the card, right? It's the other downloads that I get as well. Thank you, Alexa. Somebody's at the door. It's my son. He's ringing the doorbell. So this week's card is Inspiration. And for this, like, I really feel you just need to tap back into that childlike wonder, right? Wherever you find that, wherever you are feeling that excitement, like you're seeing something for the first time, or you're doing something for the first time, or learning something, and it lights you up and you want to do more of it. Just a second. Sorry for that interruption. He went to storage with his grandpa and was back and brought me a special rock. So I'm very grateful. He knows that I love jimmies, is what we call my crystals and stones, and he's very thoughtful and giving boy to be 4 years old. So like I was saying, this just really feels like finding that inspiration and just chasing it and spending time doing things that inspire you, especially if you are currently at a crossroads and you don't know what to do, and you're feeling frustrated and you're feeling stagnant and you're feeling like no matter how hard you are working or trying to do something, you are not making progress. Take some time out, like, 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, go for a drive, go sit in a park, go listen to a whole album or CD or MP3, however you get your music, YouTube, however you do it. Carve out some time for you to just enjoy the things that light you up, the things that inspire you. Like, music is so moving, right? Like, you can hear lyrics and just all the melodies and all the sounds and the instruments coming together, and you can feel it in your body, and that helps you transcend these places where you are often feeling stuck or feeling like you um, can't get focused or can't get clarity. So by all means, maybe for you, it's not going to a park and sitting under a tree. Maybe it is listening to music. Maybe it's getting out a journal and writing. Maybe it's painting. Maybe it's doing something with your hands. Maybe it's working in the yard. There's so many different things. Maybe it's just driving with the windows down so you can feel the air blowing through your hair and you can feel the sun on your skin. Like, there can be so many things that we can draw inspiration from, and she's looking at this. There's bees on here, which for me is kind of a confirmation that it's collective, because bees are like a hive, right? And then look, as she's looking with all that light, do you see all of the growth that she has coming from behind her, like at the back of her head, at the top of her head, as she's growing? Just all that flower, all those flowers, all this greenery, all this vibrant life, and even like there's wonder in her eyes, right? She just looks amazed that these bees are right there, so close to her, and she doesn't look fearful, right? She's calm. She's very much just like in awe of what she is seeing. So the message for this week is going to be get to a place where you can feel that, where you don't have to constantly have your mind on real life 3D bullshit that is here to distract you from your true joy, from your true happiness. So, whatever that is for you, make time to get out and do that. Make time to feel those emotions, and then you will be surprised how quickly and easily you can let that go and feel lighter. Now, the trick is when you come back home or come back to the situation at hand, to not let it wear you down and put you right back into that feeling of being stuck. Um, when you are stepping away for inspiration, you are not wanting to focus on the problem at hand. You are wanting to take your focus completely off and just be in a state of receiving joy, of receiving wonder, of receiving that love, however it is for you, right? Because then when you come back, if you can truly disconnect and give yourself time to just feel and be and experience, then you'd be surprised how many times just doing that is going to help clear your thinking. And when you look at a problem again, it looks different. It looks easier. It looks like, why was I so stressed about this? The answer is simple. And that's not always the case. Sometimes it really is a bigger thing and you don't know what you want to do. But here's the thing, inspiration is from spirit, it is from the divine consciousness, from the ether, from all the light that is. It's from all of that, that connected heartbeat that we have to each other and to the universe and the world around us, right? We are all one, we are all connected. So if you can take time to be inspired, meaning you are taking in information, whether you realize it or not, from spirit, you will get answers, you will get clarity, and you will get confirmation. And like I said, I know that's easier said than done. And, say the usual things that you normally do to be inspired, to feel at ease, to feel comforted, aren't working. But try something new. Try something that, I've looked at that one time and I thought, yeah. And when you take the time to do that, this is when you're going to have little synchronicities open up for you that just line up correctly. So, say, normally you go for a walk in the park and that suddenly isn't working for you. So you think, okay, cool. Well, I don't really want to do that. It's hot, or, I just don't feel like going to that spot because I kept running into that creep, whatever it is. You think, you know what? I think they had a new exhibit at the museum, so I'm going to go check that out. And you look it up, and it turns out that, hey, they are actually open for the next 2 hours, and you have exactly 2 hours free to go do it. So you go and do it. And then while you're there, maybe you run into the artists, right? Or maybe they have a showing in the theater, and it's something you've always been interested in, but you didn't know they were playing it, and it's there. And maybe you get in free to that. Like, these are all, if you have things like that happen, those are synchronicities. Those are moments to let you know that you are on the right path, that by following this joy, by following this, taking inspired action to go do this because it's different, that is you following spirit. That is you already being given those downloads and those connections, and you don't necessarily have to know it for it to be impactful to you. So, there's a lot of ways that you can find inspiration, and it doesn't always have to be inspiration in a positive or forward motion. Oftentimes, you can just see things that are happening when you are out and about, and it will inspire you to be completely different, right? So, one thing with triggers and people who feel like when they see a certain behavior or they hear certain words or they get worked up over how someone is, that is an excellent trigger. Let me say that differently. Triggers are essentially ways for you to look at what is unhealed within yourself. So if you feel like, people are never listening to you and you are never seen, um, there's a couple of ways to look at that. One, who are you or what are you ignoring and not looking at in your own life? Okay. And two, is there something about your belief system about yourself that causes you to feel unworthy of being seen and being heard? Right? So if you are out and about and you see something that you don't like, it can come in as an inspiration of, I definitely don't want to do that. Oh, wait a minute. I kind of do that in this aspect of my life. And then that is a, healing moment for you because you have the recognition, and then you can make steps to move forward and do things differently. Another thing with this is with the bees, with them being multiple bees on here, not just like, traditional honey sweetness, but just how many there are. There's not just one bee, right? There's multiple bees on there, meaning there are multiple ways that you can find inspiration. There are multiple opportunities for you to be filled with wonder on any given day if you are open to receiving it. And if you are stuck in a mindset where you are not feeling hopeful and happy and upbeat and optimistic, then it's harder for you to see those. And so that again is when I find myself in things like that, when I know that I'm not where I should be, I try to go and do something that will get me back there. Or if I cannot do that, then I try to remember a time that, has already happened in my life where I already felt that. And then I will just sit in that memory and replay it and, daydream it until I feel myself kind of even out, because I know, and I don't want to say this like I'm higher up in this game than you are. I don't want it to come across like that, but it's like one of those things where it has more impact now than it did before. If I'm in a shit mood now, I can feel the impact it makes, like not just me, but around my environment, and then the things I do while I'm in that attitude and that emotion. I can feel or like sense the ripples out from that more than I could before. Like it's very obvious to me now, like if I try to act from a place like that, like shit gets fucked up. And it's not like I'm being punished. It's just that I understand that's how it works now. Like I understand that how I feel and then how I act from those feelings is what causes the reality around me. Um, and so it's but it's not easy, right? Like when you're pissed off, you're pissed off. And I, by all means, am not trying to just like say if you are in a down place to not be in a down place. Like I am a firm believer, if you are in a down place, to be in your feelings, really feel them, really process them, really sit with them, and know that it doesn't make them bad. Just because they don't feel good doesn't mean they are bad feelings. Because you can't have good all the time or else it wouldn't feel good. Like it's one of those, you have to have highs with the lows type thing. Um, so I get it if it's hard to get out of that mindset. And I guess my advice would be to just find ways that work for you, that know that they always pick you up. So you have tools in your toolkit, in your tool belt, to reach for and rely on when you are in that state, right? And sometimes it's not going to be a one and done for the day. Sometimes you may need that extra day, 2, 3 days to really process and get rid of some shit. And that's completely okay. So if that's where you are, sit with it, process it, and then move through it, and then go get inspired so you can bring your vibration, so you can bring yourself back up to a place where there is hope and there is optimism and there is inspiration from spirit. And I hope that that helps. I hope that you have a beautiful week, and I will see you next week for our next reading. Bye.